That's moving. After watching all the Money Game, it was recommended that I check out Money Ties. So let's get started.
Godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world. But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction.
I'd voiced some of my opinion in my review of the Money Game about money, and money can be a great source of relief. But my point, and a lot of the things that I said, and even to Ren's point that he stated so far, is that if you are consumed by money, and that is your only desire, then it can be very difficult to be content, or to see the greater good in everything else. And I say that because that goes with anything that you have a massive, overwhelming desire for. If you spend all of your time and thought and activity and actions in trying to consume something, then you tend to leave out and miss other things that are going on around you. So I love that this has started out. It's almost like it's a commercial or a PBS statement. I'm just going to go back a second because I like the fact that it's even stated, but if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. Obviously, shelter would be another one. But the point is that we came in this world with nothing and we're leaving it with nothing. So we want to, of course, provide for ourselves, for our families, to retire, to live long and healthy lives and not struggle. And it's when we see beyond that is when it can be tricky for some. So let me continue.
But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction.
It can, right? But going back to if that's the only thing that you focus on, is that it can plunge people into ruin and destruction. Because you could, again, depending on how motivated and desired you were, you can lose relationships, you can lose family, you can sacrifice so many things in your life, both personally and for those around you, that can cause ruin and destruction. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. It's maddening and it's saddening at the same time. So I like that he's pointing these things out so directly.
People into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the path and pierced themselves with the many pangs of greed.
Money.
Oh, shoot. Sorry to stop right there. The other thing I'll say is that money is not the root of all evil. I did say that in my previous statement. It's a variation of that as far as the saying's concerned. But again, if you tend to focus on that, and there are so many other aspects that money goes into as to why it could be part of the facets of why it's evil, to some and in some cases, but I digress. It's sorry for stopping like that.
And pierced themselves with the many pangs of greed.
Money makes the world go round. Money makes a pure man lawless, proud. Money makes a man's verb consummate the noun. Cause an action to a thing is inspired by the pound or the dollar. False prophet, preach profit and we follow. When the scholar teach dishonor, that's a bit the pill to swallow. The biggest bank robber are the banks and the politicians, but judiciary are whores, what a shock. When we lose sight of live and let live, forget your soul is made much richer by the love that you give. If you're living just to make a living, that's all that is. And when you're lying, slowly dying, will you die with a grin? Now digging up.
Sorry, it sounds like the female voice in the background.
Make a living, that's all that is. And when you're lying, slowly dying, will you die with a grin?
Oh, it might be Ren at a higher at a higher tone. But I love it because his voice is still in the center, yet we have equally in both ears at a far off distance the additional vocals and melody in the background.
Now digging up the root of evil, money too like a blade. You can slice across the jugular or carve and create. But when the money ain't the means, but the means is the money, you start to compromise ideals for dollars, morals get bloody. Now let me tell you a little story about a boy named Bren. Born March 1990 in the Celtic Welsh ends. We didn't have much, but mum and dad, they made enough to put hot meals on the table, fill our bellies full of love. A little sister fell into the picture. Oh my God, we loved her, made our family richer. Then we both got older, world a little colder. Life, it had a way of chipping away at that shoulder. I held her and I told her, hierarchy, status exists. Sometimes the purity of youth gets snatched, leaving you stripped. You'll learn that love is not enough, it's not a world for a kid. So toughen up and buckle up, because it's bumpy as shit. And there'll be those who take advantage of the light in your soul. And there'll be times you feel the cup you're filling leaking with holes. And that dark can get much darker, we all must grow old. But listen up, my little sister, hold these words to your close. Keep that kind heart kind, humankind are in need. Never ever let this world make you bitter like me, because this world needs love, and love it leaks from you, see. Sis, this world needs light, and you're the brightest I see. I see your wings have feather more than ever. Mine were torn by my oppressor. Sickness scorn me, but whatever. By your side we fly together. Give me flight when I could never. A releasing of the pressure, and the pressure makes a diamond. I will shine with you forever. Fuck greed, fuck the pressure.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if Ren has a sister, but that's, at least at this part, is who he's talking to. And, that's moving, because the struggle that he has had, and for so long, and I don't know how it was financially, but the fact that he's being so positive when talking to someone else, in this case, his sister or someone who could be his sister, is telling them not to lose that brightness and that kindness that they have in them. And even though the world can be cruel and extremely trying, and people can take advantage of you, just don't lose that kindness, because people need love. I'll have to go back and listen to that again on my own, because it's such a kind message to send to anyone, that even though things can get difficult and people can be mean and people can take advantage of you, that you should still have a kindness in your heart, because if everyone was like that, we wouldn't have a lot of the problems that we do. I love that he's put so much into this, and he's taken the time to be positive about this and put a positive message, especially considering how the other money games were so negative, so to speak, right, on the concept of money and greed and consumption, that this is the positive side of it, and how this person should just continue to be a bright and strong human being.
Releasing of the pressure, and the pressure makes a diamond. I will shine with you forever. Fuck greed, fuck depression, fuck bullies, fuck the jealous. Fuck every man who made you feel less than a treasure. And fuck a world that makes us feel small. Fuck the forces that divide us. Now's the time to stand tall, because money makes the world go round. Money makes the sick boy sicker somehow. Money gets a man mugged, punched in his mouth. Money run the gang, thug, drug money, plow. Money makes open case closed. Money bend love, make war, make goals. Money gives a poor man hope. Money saves lives, takes lives, money both. Money isn't, money's just that. Money's just a concept, people are trying. Tax up the poor man, feed up the fire. Money's just cash. Take money, take money, take money, take. Fake money, fake money, fake money, fake. Money ties, money ties, money ties, ayy. Money lies, money lies, money lies, ayy.
No people, no profit. That is a true statement. I wanted to see these cuts real quick. So he's walking down the street, obviously done in two separate takes, but it's still it's a smooth sequence between with the hat, without the hat.
Money's just a concept, people are trying. Tax up the poor man, feed up the fire. Money's just cash. Take money,
So, yeah, watching this, okay, we could see the distance between how far he is currently going down this sidewalk. And he's going from the hat, from wearing the hat. And if we fast forward to where he's not the hat, he's pretty much in the same position as if he were walking without the hat. Right, so we go from here, and then the next shot is here. And that is pretty much the exact same distance. If we look at even the light pole in the background in the right, it's from a distance-wise, it's pretty impressive. And again, I know he was probably walking, then he stopped, took the hat off, put it back on, stopped. But if he did, that takes a lot of thought to go through. If he didn't, and these were done in 2 different takes, and they're just edited like this, well then, again, it takes time to be able to go through and find those specific parts of where he is in the particular shot and the location in that shot and add it together to make it still a seamless transition. That's impressive. There was another one.
Money.
Yeah, we can see obviously there's 2 people in the background in this one, and they weren't here. And they maybe even could have taken this edit and cut it a little bit sooner, but maybe they chose not to because of where his location was within this. So there was continuity between the 2, and we see the cars. But nonetheless, it's still a quick, you don't really notice, it's just a frame variation between the 2, in any case.
Money ties.
I'm glad that you recommended this. I wasn't sure what to expect with this because I didn't realize that it was part or in tangent to the money game. And this was different, but it's beautifully shot, all in black and white. But the camera angles and the depth are gorgeous. This looks like it was, all of his things are, but this just looks beautiful visually. The locations where he's shot are fantastic. There's not really anything that I would point out other than what I already have. I love these locations. But the how it opens with the statements about all we need are the things basically essential in life. And he even mentioned towards the end in the lyrics that money can make a homeless person better. And there are certain situations where that is certainly possible. Again, I'm not against money. I'm just fearful of those who focus on it too much to the point to where they lose out on their life or their friendships or their relationships and what have you. Because in the end, you could be the richest person in the world, but if you die alone, to me, that's not something that I would want for myself. I would rather be surrounded by people who I love and who love me for who I am and not for what I have or what I've bought them or what I could. In any case, I'm not going to preach about money. Everybody has their own circumstances. I like, though, that Ren has taken these lyrics and these videos and made them so poignant and important, and it's something that he obviously has a strong feel for, and I appreciate that. What did you think? Well, how did you like this compared to the other 3, part 1, 2, and 3 of the money game? They're obviously completely different stylistically, visually, musically. I enjoyed this. It's got a wonderful piano, and his accompaniment with the additional vocals is just beautiful. But yeah, what do you think? Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I did watching it for the first time. It's so heartfelt. His message It's unbelievable. Thank you so much for watching Melodic Logic. Until next time, please take care.